Hello everybody and welcome to Beginning Crypto, where we try and just distill information down into its most basic components to make it easy for you to get a basic understanding of the crypto world. As always, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We have a lot of content coming out all the time. If you're brand new to the crypto world, just check out the comments or the description of the video down below for some ways to earn some free crypto, mostly in Bitcoin. So for today, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the number 4 to number 5 in market cap cryptocurrency out there right now, ADA or Cardano. The token that is native to the blockchain is named ADA after Ada Lovelace, the 19th century mathematician and philosopher. Most people call it Cardano. I call it Cardano. Almost everybody calls it Cardano. This is actually one of the cryptos that I am a huge fan of. Right now, it's less than $2. It's had a lot of growth this year. It was down around the stellar lumens area earlier this year, around 30-40 cents. It was created by Charles Hoskinson. Charles Hoskinson was one of the co-creators of Ethereum. He broke off from Ethereum for various philosophical differences that I'm not really going to get into, and decided to create Cardano or ADA. And it's got a lot of differences. He wanted to improve upon Ethereum. He also wanted to make it for profit, just to be clear about that, as that's one of the negatives associated with Charles Hoskinson. But he wanted to improve upon Ethereum. He wanted to look at all the weaknesses that Ethereum had and figure out ways to beat those weaknesses. He likes to bill Cardano as blockchain version 3. Whereas Ethereum is version 2 and Bitcoin was version 1, or third generation blockchain. And the way he looks at it is that each one of them has improved upon the other. Bitcoin really can't do much. It doesn't have a whole lot of functionality within it. Ethereum has an enormous functionality, which is why it is so huge, because there's so many things that can be done with it. But it's got some glaring weaknesses as well. 1, scalability. 2, high fees. 3, high energy cost. And there's other smaller weaknesses associated with it. So what Hoskinson wanted to do was he wanted to create a strong, stable cryptocurrency blockchain that was able to do everything that it would need to do over the next however many years and decades and potentially centuries. He wanted to make the blockchain of the future, the one that everything could be built upon, and that would have enormous functionality, which also means that it needs to be scalable. So that was one of his first things, was looking at the scalability of it. And he did it in an interesting way. First off, for those of you guys that may be thinking about investing in Cardano, it is not fully formed yet. It is a process. They have split it up into 5 eras. Each era is named after a poet. The first era was Byron, second era was Shelley. We're currently in the Goguen. I'm not familiar with that poet, so I don't know how to pronounce his name. That's currently the era that we were in, and each era has its own functionality that is being added to the Cardano blockchain. Now, it's a proof of stake. It's one of the first proof of stake, so that is the one spot that it managed to beat Ethereum. It managed to enter the proof of stake market first. Ethereum is right now trying to get to there, and that would address the energy usage. And Ethereum 2.0 that will switch over to the proof of stake is also theoretically addressing their scalability issues and their fees issues, but Cardano also managed to enter that particular area of the market faster than they did. The Shelley era covered the decentralization of it, and the way they built it so as to encourage multiple nodes. They don't want what a lot of cryptocurrencies have had happen, which is a few very large nodes that end up controlling a large amount of the circulating supply, because that kind of defeats the decentralization idea behind it. When you centrally locate that much of the currency and that much of the voting power, decision-making power, and so on and so forth, it takes away the decentralization aspect of it. Now, Cardano is built to be far more scalable. It's built to be extremely fast, able to process transactions very quickly, and it's built to, or being built to, have a number of functions. The idea is that it can host decentralized apps, or DApps as they are called, which right now Ethereum is the primary host for that. Not the only one. There are other blockchains that host DApps, but Ethereum is the primary one. Cardano was hoping to enter that market and be able to host DApps as well, faster, cheaper, and better. In order to do that, they need to have the smart contract capabilities, which is what is being rolled out this year in 2021 with the third era. I don't want to mispronounce the name again. So when the smart contracts roll out, now it'll be able to host DApps. It'll also be able to have NFTs, the non-fungible tokens that are so large right now. Ethereum has a lot of those. The problem with those is that Ethereum is so expensive that it often makes the non-fungible tokens price way more than they're worth. So hopefully the Cardano will be able to make that price lower. Cardano wants to be able to be used in the finance sector. It wants to be able to be used in the healthcare sector. It wants to be able to be used in identity and education sectors. And that's its plans. Each era is just adding more and more functionality to it so that it is able to be used in all these different ways, decentralized, secure, and functional. You know, within the education area alone, Cardano has actually just recently made an agreement with the government of Ethiopia where they are going to have the entire identity, student and teacher identities, and transcripts and educational backgrounds hosted on the Cardano blockchain, which will theoretically help students, one, prove their credentials as they're trying to get into foreign universities, help teachers keep track of student educational levels, and help keep track of their identities as well, help identify them, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of functionality within Cardano, and there's a lot of functionality that Cardano is going to do in the future. One of the things that makes it so different is it is also peer reviewed. Part of the reason it is so slow to come out with each era and why it didn't just immediately launch with full functionality is because of its peer review. They want it to be super, super strong. Rather than just release a blockchain and then after some basic testing and then start patching any weaknesses or start building up scalability and any other issues that may pop up, they prefer to design it, then submit it to their peers, mathematicians and cryptographers at various universities, to look it over, to review it, to give their suggestions, to give their ideas, to give their approval, so that they can redesign it, so that they can make it even better. So every time a piece is released, it has been peer reviewed and tested to the nth degree, which makes it even stronger. The only potential downside to that is that it takes them longer to enter each market. You know, the Cardano was one of the first to have the proof of stake, but they're also well behind the power chain when it comes to smart contracts, for instance. A lot of blockchains already have smart contracts. Cardano is just now rolling them out. So they're rolling them out and they are hoping to be able to get into the decentralized apps and everything else that goes along with the smart contracts, the NFTs and all that. So they're behind the eight ball in a lot of the functionality because they are trying to build it so strong from the get-go. However, that also means that it's very, very strong when it comes out. Very strong, very useful, very solid, trustworthy, reliable, secure, as each piece comes out. They also have a strong team that is constantly working on strengthening Cardano and getting it out there. Again, they just made the agreement with Ethiopia. They have some other agreements with some other large companies, and they're working with other countries trying to help set up infrastructure in various industries. There is a team that's constantly working on it, and they even managed to build into it a way to prevent it from folding because it runs out of money. A lot of initial coin offerings come out, they make all the money for the team of developers, they start working on it, they work on it, it's not catching on as fast as they like, it's taking more time, more effort, more money for them to do, and next thing you know, they run out of money. And now what happens? Cardano actually has a piece built into the blockchain where a tiny fraction of every transaction goes right back to the Cardano blockchain and its developers to continue increasing the strength of Cardano. I'm not a financial advisor like anything else. All the cryptos are definitely volatile. They're definitely a gamble. They're definitely a risk. This is one of the ones that I think is very, very, very strong. It's going to have a max circulating supply of 400 billion, so this isn't going to be a $50,000 per coin Bitcoin competitor. They hope to be the Ethereum killer, but again, it's not likely to be a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 coin like Ethereum is because of the number of coins that they have out there circulating. I do see it as having a fairly strong ability to make it to the $5 to $10 mark for sure, and relatively quickly. So I think that long term, if you're looking for a coin to hodl, to hold on for dear life, or however you want to think of the term hodl, I personally think Cardano is an excellent option for that. Cardano to me is one of the stronger potential blockchains out there. So I hope this has helped you guys. Hope you guys enjoy it, and be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye.